What's up, guys? San Antonio Sports Center. We're going to be going over a college football preview on week 3. This is going to be over number 1, Clemson and Syracuse. And of course, Syracuse last week dropped the game against Maryland 63-20. Got blown out in that one. This is still a huge game in the ACC, obviously, with Syracuse being at home. And Syracuse, they've given this Clemson team troubles before, so it's nothing all that new. But will Syracuse be able to pull off an upset is what we're going over here today. This game is going to be on Saturday, September 14th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And Clemson is currently favored in the spread, 27.5 points. And of course, this is Monday when this is being recorded, so this spread could easily change over the next few days, just so you know. But the FBI also says Clemson 96%, so they are heavily favored in all three of these sources. Vegas is saying 40-23 Clemson. And really, with 96% Clemson in the FBI, I think that is a little bit excessive. Clemson is a great team, and there is a right for them to be favored here. But the thing is that Syracuse is at home. Syracuse still has a lot of potential. They've got a lot of talent on that team. And so, I think there's potential for an upset here. And I'm not sure if it's really going to be able to happen, but I do believe that this will be a much closer game than what people are thinking. Here's our stat comparison in this game. We're now using 2019 current stats. We've been using 2018 stats the last couple weeks just because it's the most accurate thing. But yeah, now we're using 2019 stats, and Clemson is 26th in total offense, 13th in rushing, and 49th in passing. So obviously pretty good there. The passing on game, though, with it being ranked 49th, these stats for Clemson should be much higher. But the thing is that they did play a very tough Texas A&M team just last week, and so with that being said, their stats could be a little bit different and a little bit lower than teams, for example, that play two easier opponents. They have a 40th ranked total defense right now, 41st in rushing, 53rd in passing, so pretty consistent on the defensive end for Clemson. Last week they played Texas A&M once again, 24-10. Got a pretty good win there. Texas A&M kind of hung around in that first half, but then in the second half, Clemson was able to pull away. 2-0 is what Clemson's record is, obviously, right now. Syracuse is 72nd in total offense, 87th in rushing, 53rd in passing, and then this defense does not look very good after their loss against Maryland on the road. That was a crazy game. Maryland's really turned the tables. They've really surprised me, and I'm sure a lot of people. Maryland's looking very good right now, offensively especially. And that kind of made Syracuse's defensive stats kind of go down, 105th in total defense, 99th in rushing, and 104th in passing. So that's kind of what you're looking at with your stat comparison. Clemson is still better in almost every area. They are better. The closest thing on this list is the passing game, with a 49th ranking for Clemson and a 53rd for Syracuse. Now looking at a few key points going into this game, Syracuse did have a tough week too, but Clemson did as well. Just Clemson was able to win their game. With Clemson playing Texas A&M, could that make them a little bit tired for this game? That is a question. That is possible for this one. But then again, Syracuse did face a tough Maryland team, it looks like. It's kind of crazy saying Maryland's tough right now, but they really are. After looking at their trash dumpster of a season last year, you kind of expect them not to be as good as they played against Syracuse, especially last week. But is there a possible upset here? I've said this a couple of times before. I think there is potential for an upset. If any game's going to have an upset this week, this could very well be the one. But how would Clemson win? They get up early and shut Syracuse down. That's basically what you got to do against an opponent that's an underdog. And how would Syracuse win this thing? You got to stick with Clemson. You cannot let them get away. Kind of vice versa there. Syracuse needs to stay with Clemson early, possibly get a couple of good leads, and then possibly pull off a game-winning drive in the end. For Syracuse, though, it's going to be tough to stick with Clemson, that is for sure. Very explosive offense, Trevor Lawrence, ETN, very tough Clemson team. So Syracuse is going to have to stick with them all the way to the end. But the thing is, though, I do not see that happening in this game. I think that Syracuse, they're going to be pretty tired from last week. Could be a little bit mental, too, for Syracuse. But I think Clemson goes in, and they end up putting a big show on. 21-10 is going to be your halftime score. I think Syracuse kind of sticks with them a little bit in the first half. We see it kind of low scoring in the first quarter. Syracuse looks like they're a pretty good team. But then in the second quarter, Clemson starts to pull away just a tiny bit. But then in the second half, Clemson absolutely explodes. And Syracuse only can score 7 points in the second half. Meanwhile, Clemson puts on a show, and they will score 24 points there in the second half. Clemson wins this one 45-17. And I mean, typically I don't really predict blowouts, but I think this one honestly isn't going to be very close. I mean, I think Syracuse has got a chance to possibly keep it close throughout the entire game. But the thing is, though, both of these teams played tough opponents last week, so there's no advantage there. And so with that being said, I think Clemson wins this game 45-17. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this game in the comments below. If you think Syracuse can pull off an upset, I mean, you've definitely got a reason to think that. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on the comments below. I'll try to get back to as many of your guys' comments as I can. And yeah, just be sure to let me know your thoughts on. I mean, if you think Syracuse can win, let me know why. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that as well. Yeah, we're going over college football week 3 previews right now. We got a few more coming up, and then we're on to NFL week 2 as well. So yeah, stay tuned for more. And yeah, I'll see y'all later.